Bob Savar. I'm the founder of Palm Beach County Pickleball News, which is a free monthly newsletter for pickleball enthusiasts in Palm Beach County. And I'm here with Lucy Kitcher, who she may not remember, but I actually met you in 2018, I think at the Davy Classic in 2018.
Yeah, at Bamford Park.
Right. And I was at in Naples prior to COVID when you played in some of the most exciting matches, especially in mixed doubles. If you didn't have rallies of 30, 40 dinks in that game, it was absolutely amazing. And I really appreciate watching you play.
Good.
So I'm going to just say a little about your background, that you're a level 2 pickleball instructor certified by the IPTPA, the International Pickleball Teaching Professional Association. You are a Gamma Sports First Pickleball Pro and have represented Gamma Sports since 2017. You also represent 2 apparel companies. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right. Sophie Bella, is that correct?
Well, I hate to stop you, but I'm not actually sponsored by any of those people anymore because now it's just Lucy Kitcher.
Yeah, I noticed that you changed the domain from 00star to lucykitcher.com. So
Yes.
I'm glad you pointed that out. You've won numerous tournaments, mixed events, medals, including Nationals, US Open, and the Gamma Classic. And really what we're going to talk about today are some of your pickleball trips, which you do in the US and internationally. And are you still putting on tournaments around the country?
I haven't done any tournaments for a while, mostly just because the trips are more fun.
More fun, right? And they take up a lot of time, I guess, and a lot of energy. So why don't we start just by telling us a little about the trips that you have coming up and what people can expect, whether you're a beginner or an advanced player. So tell us a little about them.
So I do trips. Right now, the ones that are in Florida are 5 days, and the international ones are 8 days, 7 nights. So the way the trip goes, a lot of times if you go to a clinic, you go to the clinic, you learn, and then you go home. And you don't have the social component, which to me is a big part of pickleball. So what I do is I do my trips at all-inclusive resorts so that we do pickleball. But after that, we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have a bunch of other activities, excursions, and things for our social time. So usually at 8 o'clock, we meet for pickleball. We usually do about 4 hours of pickleball, which sounds like a lot for most people, but actually the first maybe 2.5 hours, we do drills and skills and learning things. So you're not running around getting tired. So I organize everybody into groups, kind of the people who are closest to your skill level are the same ones that are on your court. And we do drills with the instructor. We usually show them what they're going to do, and then they go to the court and practice, and the instructors will go to the courts and give individual corrections. And then after that, we do a round robin. So again, on your court with the people who are closest to your skill level, you play one game with each of the other people on your court. So that usually takes us all the way from 8 to 12, and then they go to lunch, and then there's a bunch of other activities to do around the resort. And then depending on the trip, we usually meet in the afternoon around 3 o'clock and do about an hour and a half of open play. And then we do a king of the court. So
I hate that game. I know it well.
So the way it works is everybody gets a playing card, depending on how many courts there are, but kings is the highest, queen, jack, 10. And then the thing that I like to do, which not everybody does, is you don't get to choose your partner, because a lot of times people will kind of go and choose who they want to go and play with. So you get your card, and the blacks play together and the reds play together. So the black queens play against the red queens, and then whoever wins moves up to the kings, and whoever loses moves to the jack. And then when you go to your new court, you don't get to just pick your partner. Let's say you and I were partners. Now when we go, if we were on the queens and we won and we go to the kings, I'm going to have a red and you're going to have a black, but we don't know which is which. So you get a partner, somebody who was, somebody different, but you don't get to pick them. So we do that, and then we have cocktails, and then we have dinner, and then there's usually dancing or entertainment at the resort. So
okay, I've watched some of the videos and seen a lot of smiles.
Yeah,
it really looks exciting, and I know you've been successful with it because you have some of the same people coming back again and again.
Absolutely. I started in October 2017. Was my first pickleball. My first tournament was the Del Rey tournament, which I think was maybe, I don't know, it was in 2017. And then also in 2017, I did my first trip, but I only had 20 people for the first one. And those people came, they had a great time, and then they went home and told their friends. And so now, some of those people who came come back with their friends, but now they have so many people. Now they've kind of branched off into like 3 different groups of the North Carolina group that like to come for the whole of February and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good fun.
So that's at lucykitcher.com.
Yes.
Okay. So I always ask, I did interview you back in 2018. But I always ask, very simply, when did you get started playing? I mean, you were in tournaments in 2017.
Yeah, I started playing at the end of 2015. And so when I started playing tournaments almost immediately, very badly. We played 3-0 in one tournament, and there's a picture of me standing at the back of the court with my paddle ready as my partner's like at the kitchen line. I don't know what I'm doing. And then the next one we played 3-5. And then, I played 4-0 a few tournaments, and then actually, I don't think I ever played 4-5 because this guy asked me to play, and we were going to play 4-5. Actually, I think originally we were going to play 4-0, and then he said, I'm going to move us up to 4-5. And I said, okay. And then right before the tournament, he said, well, by the way, I moved us to 5-0. And then our first game was Kyle and Simone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, but it was great experience, and that's how you learn. So I drilled a lot with Steve Kennedy, who you also met at Bamford Park.
Yeah.
He was a tennis pro, and so I learned a lot from him. We didn't necessarily know what we were doing to start with. He would say, move your feet, move your feet, move your feet. And then after about a year, he said, I don't think you really need to move your feet. So we kind of learned together. But
Good. So you bring up Steve. So a lot of questions we get, okay, are 2 questions. I'm a beginner. What should I look for? I teach a lot, as you know. And I always tell my beginner students the number 1 mistake they make is they drop their paddles, okay? What do you see from beginners? What quick lessons can you teach them that might help them get used to the game and really get into it?
Well, the biggest thing about pickleball, in my opinion, is you shouldn't be trying to win. You should be trying not to lose. Like, especially people who come from tennis, they're trying to do these shots down the line and these winners and trying to hit the ball hard at the net. And only bad things can happen. If you're hitting the ball, it's low in the kitchen and you try and hit it hard, it goes in the net, it goes out, or it rises, and then your opponents slam it back in your face. So instead of trying to go for these winning shots, if these people would spend more time just trying to get the ball over the net and on the court,
right,
that's really what wins. Tennis is about winning and pickleball is about not losing.
I have never heard that, but I do talk a lot about unforced errors, etc. But I do understand what you're saying. I'm going to keep that in mind. The next question I hear often, I teach mostly beginners, but every once in a while I get what I would call a 3.5 player, and they're looking to try to figure out how to get to that next step. They're usually athletic. They usually come from a tennis background. They're beginning pickleball players. Do you have any advice that comes to mind for that type of player?
Well, I mean, still the biggest thing in pickleball is consistency.
Yeah.
And even those 3-5 players are trying to hit these winning shots. And I mean, probably the best thing for them also would be to stop trying to win and try not to lose.
Yeah.
Let me think. I tell you what else is a really big one for me is court positioning. Like people say all the time, oh, I hit the ball right to your paddle. Well, it's not about hitting it to their paddle. It's about being in the right place at the right time. And especially people who come from tennis, they tend to move with their partner. They move to the right as their partner goes for a ball on the right-hand side. And really that's kind of wasted energy. When you need to be moving is when you see where your partner hits the ball. Because if you hit the ball diagonal, it's your job to get the middle. Your partner shouldn't be coming over because you went way out. If you choose to hit the ball diagonal, your job is to cover the middle. If you cannot get back and cover the middle, you should hit the ball in front of you. And then your partner will be covering the middle.
That is so true. And I see teachers not teaching that correctly. They have the students moving to the wrong place at the wrong time. And I'm not sure where they pick that up. And
it's not only 3-5s. I mean, I played with a group of ladies this morning who I would say are 4-5s, and a lot of them, especially, I don't know why, but the ones that are coming from tennis, they haven't quite got that yet. I think it's just more important in pickleball because the court is so much smaller. And people just think, even at the higher level, oh, well, I could get that ball, so why would I not hit it kind of thing. But what you don't realize is when you're both going for the same ball and you're coming together in the middle, you're leaving both the lines open. Right. So whoever hits the ball, you guys are going to end up losing.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that you're not going to get to the ball, but if you were in the right position, you would have made a better shot.
Right. That's so hard to teach.
It is. It's very hard to teach. And especially because the person whose ball it is not is always going to get there first. When it's going diagonal and it's your partner's ball, you can get to it first because you're kind of in front of them. But if you're supposed to be covering your line, you're kind of doing what I call the pokey. You're sticking your paddle out and trying to get in there when really your partner was set up ready to get the ball.
Right. That's, you said it so simply, but it's definitely not that simple when you're out on the court. You probably know this better than I can't remember the gentleman who said this, but the first 3 rules in pickleball are don't hit the net, don't hit the net, don't hit the net.
I don't know who said that.
But it's in a video I watched many years ago. So I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you very much. And I hope the tours continue to be successful for you. You are one of the greatest ambassadors to the game. And I know you peripherally, and I guess I've known you since 2018. But I remember in that tournament in Naples, when you were playing, I was standing behind the fence and I actually videotaped. I think the last point of the game was your male partner hit an Ernie or some amazing shot. Well, I may remember better than you do, but whatever. Again, thank you very much for coming on. I'm just going to wrap it up. Again, I'm Bob Savar, publisher of Palm Beach County Pickleball News. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter, and you'll find the web address of the newsletter in the comment section below. Thanks again, Lucy. I hope to talk to you again soon.
You're welcome.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.